Good morning. This is Lady Baden coming to you from my car in the great state of Texas. It is a beautiful but humid Monday morning here in Houston, Texas. I do want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I know my videos are pretty intermittent, but I'm trying to do better at producing more videos and producing content in general because I've started writing for the Faces of EDM. I am really excited about that. So today is going to be the first day I really jump into it. I'm definitely trying to get the creative juices flowing and redirect the focus back to myself. Now, I want to state that I am a human being. I'm not a guru. I don't have all the answers. I started this channel so that I could reach out to people and have them see that, hey, there are regular people out there that are experiencing or have experiencing narcissistic abuse. I also want them to see that it's possible to go on and live a good life. And finally, I want people to take into account that healing and the journey to self-discovery is not easy. It's actually very hard. And if you fall off the horse and make mistakes, it's okay. You got to get back up again. And that's what this video is about. Specifically, how not to engage with a narcissist. Guys, I've been doing my best to keep it together when I have to be around the ex-husband who I suspect is pathologically narcissistic. I also have to end up being around the new supply and have their cute little marriage flaunted in my face. I know the truth. I know what likely goes on behind the scenes because I've been with this person. And there's no way a person so abusive is suddenly going to change their stripes and be perfect for this person. And I know this for a fact because I've seen the ex-husband verbally abuse the new supply and put his hands on her and scream at her for that matter. So anyway, I don't like being around these two people at all, but I have to for the kids. Whenever the ex-husband comes to pick up our two daughters for his arranged visitation time, he always brings a new supply. Which is either here or there now, because the kids like the new supply. They don't really know what's going on. All they know is that mommy, daddy, and the new supply have to work at being friends. Excuse me, I'm looking over at these two little dogs playing. So cute. Anyhow, the kids don't know what's going on, and I try to do some things jointly with the ex-husband and the new supply because the kids, particularly the oldest, like seeing their family together. But after this weekend, I'm going to have to invest a lot more time in our side of the family and inform, our children that, hey, there's special times that you get to spend with daddy and insert name for the new supply. I want you to spend as much quality time as possible. So I'm going to step out of the picture and let you guys have fun. I want to do this because this weekend, guys, I have to admit, I lost control and I let that suspected narcissist win. I took the bait. So this video is going to be how not to take the bait. So I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of background as to how things unravel. Not to blame any one thing, because ultimately we are responsible for our behavior and our actions and how we react, or in my case, should have responded to people and situations who are difficult. However, I do want to go ahead and give you the background. So this past Saturday, our oldest had a dance recital, and I really wanted to get her there early to her tech rehearsal, which was to take place 2 hours before the start of the recital. The ex-husband had asked if he could take our oldest out to lunch and also take our youngest out to lunch and then have them back in time for me to take them on downtown. I said yes, against my better judgment. He ends up coming and picking up the kids early without calling or texting, sending a message to app closed, no problem, whatever. It was only 15 minutes. I had the kids out. During that time, I went out to try to do some door dashing. I didn't get a ping, so I took myself out to lunch. Now, I don't recall anyone telling me that they would be back at a specific time. The new supply told me in the yard that they were going to take them out to eat for lunch and they would bring them back early. I didn't hear 3. I heard early. Now, she said 3. I didn't hear it. I just wanted to get out of the hot sun and not be around them. So anyway, I take myself out to eat and then I go to the store. I had told the ex-husband that I wanted to leave no later than 3:45. So yeah, have him back by 3:45. He said, okay. So what I get is a text message from the new supply telling me that they had stopped by the house and I was not there, so they decided to go get a super quick oil change. I got pissed off because, number one, why are you the one communicating with me? The ex-husband always has I wouldn't say always, but a lot of the times he has had the new supply be the one to reach out to me to talk about plans with the kids, pickups, drop-offs, and stuff. It's annoying. I want documented, written proof of what he has said, what he has proposed, etc. Anyway, the number one, not the number one, but thing number one that got me pissed off was that she was the one reaching out to me. Thing number 2 was that they were doing this super quick oil change prior to having to drop off the kids. Now, if it was just a stated time and I had nothing to do with them, that's one thing. However, I did have something to do with them, and it was really important that I get the oldest to the tech rehearsal. And here we are with a lot of uncertainty, but hey, it's part of the course for dealing with a narcissist. So, at first, I was going to let it go, just go back to the house and just wait for them. But I decided not to do that. So I had to end up driving up to this Lube Express place. I saw the ex-husband's truck lifted up, and I was like, ugh, who knows when they would have actually been done. They likely would have dropped the kids off. But, I had nothing to say about that. I just went into the waiting room, and I didn't say anything to them. And I just told the kids, hey, come on, let's go. Come on, we have to go to the desert side. Come on, let's go. I took the kids home. I had to end up contacting the ex-husband again because diapers were left, pull-ups were left, as was a mini doll that my oldest really, really loves. The ex-husband messaged me that he would bring the things to the recital. Great. Okay. I was still pretty pissed off by this point. When I was driving past the venue, I saw them on the other side of the street. I did not want to stop because I had the green light and I wanted to park. I also wanted to try to get to my child before she was released backstage. So once I parked, I hurriedly walked past them around the side of the building to see about getting my child, but they ended up just taking them straight backstage prior to the recital. So I ended up getting in line. I saw them in line, but I walked right past them. I was really upset. I didn't feel like the right thing to do was to go up to them because I felt like I was going to explode. Now, I could have done something to calm myself down, sure. I take responsibility for that. I really should have just gone up there and just taken what was going to be said to me or whatever attitude was going to be thrown to me, gone to stuff, and gone in line and not talked to them until the end of, not talked to them at all, just basically been with them while the oldest said hi and goodbye to them. But I ignored them. They went inside, they got seated. I walked past them up the stairs to get a seat and scout something out for my mother and my youngest, who she was with and was bringing up there. So the ex-husband ended up coming up there and giving me the stuff. I asked him about some lollipops that our oldest had asked about. He told me that they weren't any good. They were left in the truck on a piece of paper or whatever. I said, okay. So he goes back down, and the youngest ends up going to sit with him and the new supply. Fine, whatever. At the end, the new supply and the ex-husband both got up very quickly, and I had to hurry down the stairs to call out to him to ask him if he was going to stay to say goodbye to our oldest. He said yes. So once I got our oldest from the stage, I went outside. I saw him standing there with the new supply's baby, and he looked pretty agitated. But I went up to him. My mom and our youngest was with me, as well as our oldest, and I stood right there. I put my arms in front of myself, and I did a half smile. I didn't say anything. So instead of talking to our oldest saying, "Hey, good job, child, I really loved your performance," he stood right there, huffed up, and told me, "Well, I hope you're happy about your behavior because our youngest was flipping people off, some sort of nonsense that had nothing to do with our child. So he started to walk off, said nothing to our oldest or youngest, and I was livid, guys. I lost it right then and there. How dare he say this crap in front of me, not acknowledge our child, and just walk off? And the new supply, I didn't see her at first, but I saw him walk off and towards her sitting ways away. She was silent, looking all haughty and stupid, as usual, when she's upset. And I started calling after the ex-husband. He, of course, didn't want to say anything. He just stood there like the like the idiot he is. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you going to talk to our oldest, blah, blah, blah? And my mother got into it and was telling me about having to go back and see my therapist and to calm down, which agitated me further because she was piling on me. But here he was saying crap to me, walking away, but I took the bait. I should have not taken the bait, guys. No matter what he said or did or how he hurt the child, I should have let him look like the a-hole that he is. Instead, I walked after him, got loud. Some people started to look. I tried to calm myself down, but eventually I had to start walking away with the kids. Well, the kids got upset, of course, our oldest got upset. So I had her go over to where the new supply and the ex-husband was so she could say hi, bye, and come back to me. And I continued talking my crap on the way to the car, and quite loudly. And yeah, I embarrassed myself. And in the end, it only ended up hurting my kid. And it fed into the narrative of the suspected narcissist. So guys, whenever they say or do something to you that is nonsense and you feel yourself get upset, walk it back. Count backwards from 10, take a deep breath, don't say anything. Think whatever you want inside, feel however you want, just don't say anything. Try to give them as little reaction as possible. If they want to walk away and be hurtful and disrespectful and not acknowledge their own children, let them do it. Let them act the butthole. Because the only thing that happened was that I ended up looking like the butthole, and I do suspect that new supply was sitting over there so that she could record the right woman, because she had her phone up acting like she was looking at it. But I know how she is, because she's tried to record me before when we've gotten into it, or me and the ex-husband has gotten into it. I wouldn't say has tried to. She has, and I've recorded her and the ex-husband back. But I try to not do that anymore because it causes a lot of attention. There's really nothing to record, or at least there wasn't. So yeah, guys. The thing to remember is that you have to keep your cool. Now, I don't think this can really be used against me. Yeah, I look a little crazy. Well, not a little. Yeah, I look crazy amount in that video. However, it's an isolated incident, because I'd say for example, say out of the last 5 times that I've had to be around these people, everything has been good. My communication has been good and to the point. I haven't really reached out too much. Now, my strategy has been to do a little small talk with the ex-husband so he doesn't think I'm over here plotting and hating on him, because that just causes problems. I want him to think that he can trust me and not be so anxious around me, because it affects the kids and his time with them and exchanges and things like that. So when we have this little blow up, I could definitely expect for the kids to be ignored, for him to not want to communicate, for the new supply to not want to communicate. But you know what? The communication with the new supply is coming to an end. I have blocked her on my text messages through my carrier. It's only for 30 days, but I'll pick that block right up. She's been blocked on Facebook. I muted her messages. I'm gonna have to go in and I'm going to go in and block her email address as well. I do not want any communication with her. Now, if the kids have to be in her care, I'll open that back up. But I'm going to make it clear that I no longer want any communication from you. On Saturday, once she sent me that text, it was about an hour or so later that I sent her the message back that all communication from this point on had to come from the ex-husband about pickups and drop-offs. And I should have said, I don't want to talk to you again. Do not message me about the kids, about anything. For me, or to me. I'm sorry. I'm getting my words jumbled up, and this video is running long. So hopefully you guys are still watching. But it pissed me off that the ex-husband would not acknowledge my own child. He was fixated on him feeling slighted and ignored and stuff. But he's the one that was going to inconvenience me. He's the one that's not communicating with me. Even so, I really should have just taken it for what it is, seen it for what it was. But in that moment, I got mad and I reacted. But you know what? Today is a new day. And actually on Sunday, the boyfriend and I and my two kids I have with the ex-husband, we went to Surfside and enjoyed a great day at the beach. The water was peaceful. The kids had fun. I enjoyed getting my toes in the water and picking up some seashells and seeing the kids have a great time. It was a peaceful day, and it wouldn't have been so peaceful with the ex-husband, especially not towards the end of our marriage. We would have been arguing about something. So, I'm gonna get back to living my life, and I got something for that ex-husband. I got something for him. Now, then that something's gonna be living my best life, severely limiting communication with him, and holding him accountable for that. And if he doesn't want to communicate, whatever, it's his loss. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to keep up with me, and hit the bell to get notified of new videos. Thank you for joining me today. So yes, I am human. I make mistakes. I talked to my daughter and apologized to her for that. I told her that that's not how I should have acted. I tried to explain that for her upcoming birthday, we might have to have separate celebrations, because I want her to have as many birthday celebrations as possible. I do not want to do anything joint with the new supply and the ex-husband for the foreseeable future. Oil and water do not mix. Fire and water do not mix. And that is what we are. I'm the water, he's the fire. Sometimes I'm the fire and he's turbulent waters. Anyway. I'm going to do better. I'm going to talk it out with my therapist. I'm going to work with myself at home and get back to living my life. I felt peaceful as soon as I got home. Well, I was I was a lot conflicted, and I was feeling really down on myself. But I'm human. I've done my best. I'm going to continue to do my best. So thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.